Hello and welcome to PC Couch Gamer. I'm your host, the internet's Buzz Stringer. You're looking good, players, but you know what's not looking good? Behind the TV, especially if you have your PC in the living room. There's just a snake pit of cables back there. But we are going to handle cable management today like a boss. Even if initially you manage to meticulously place every single cable, every new box you add or replace to your setup just causes a nightmare with cables. So we're going to sort that out once and for all with all of these lovely tools right here. All of these came from a contract supplier I found online. So we have some D-line trunking. We've got some various bits and pieces and adapters there. We've got some cable tiny unit box. So let's get started. Okay, so believe it or not, once upon a time this was all completely cable managed and you couldn't see hardly any of these. Here's some of the remnants from the cable ties that we put in before. But over time we've added stuff. We've changed the television so that only needs one cable now with the new Samsung One Connect box. So it's all a bit of a mess. So what we are going to do is, I think the best thing to do is to take all the cables out, lay them out, measure where we need the trunking, and measure the cable lengths we have, make sure they can go in the right place. I think that's about it. Let's get started. Okay, so we've moved all the mess of cables from the back of the TV to the front of the TV. Now it's time to sort them out. Do you ever regret starting something immediately after you started it? Yeah. Okay, so the next step is planning out where you want everything. I think the One Connect box should be at the bottom here. Right here, inside this cable tidy box. Now I'm probably going to have to modify that a little bit, get out the Dremel and cut that out just a little bit more to make room for the cable so it lines up with this hole right here. The Samsung One Connect box, we'll put inside here. It's got all the HDMI connections for the TV, and then one cable runs up wherever that plugs into there. That runs up to the TV, and it only has one connection on it. So we'll pop that in there, and then we can run all the HDMI connections into this cable tidy box. We'll also measure the length of the HDMI cables we need to run from both the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, the PC that sits over there, and I think that's it. And we'll give the cabinet a good clean as well. We'll also measure these runs here for the built-in TV cable management, although we'll probably going to cover most of that with the D-line trunking all the way down here. We've got some special corner pieces there. So we're going to have D-line pretty much covering this whole entire thing, so we won't see any bare cables sticking out the back at all, and it'll all be contained nice and neat. Okay, so the first cut for us is 19.5 inches. Vision stand to the wall, cheers. So I ended up buying about 6 meters of this trunking, which is probably more than I'll ever need, but that was what they sold it in. So what do we need here? 19.5, but it is going into one of these little adapter things. So this is a corner unit. This sits in a corner basically. So what we need to do is take off that much from the final length. So we're taking off 2.5 inches. The first cut is the deepest. I don't think that's going to cut it. Nah. Hopefully this will. Okay, so we have a really uneven cut. Fantastic. As you could probably tell, knives and hand tools were an absolutely terrible idea, so I ended up using a Dremel to cut the bits I needed to size. I also modified some of the corner connection bits, so what I did was cut them back and super glue them together, so that should be a much nice tighter bend around the back of the TV cabinet there. I've also got holes in the backs of these so they will line up with the holes on the back of the TV stand. So with its own built-in cable management will run through this as well. So we'll get the D-line trunking stuck to the back of the TV mount and then we will wire some cables. Okay, before sticking anything to anything, it's always good to get the surface clean and dust free. Okay, I'm thinking I should have taken the protective film off before putting this on. So what we can start doing now is putting the cables in from this side. So we'll have a whole lead of cables coming out of here, which we'll sort out after the fact. So, cable time. Okay, so we do have some cables that are twice as long as they need to be, so I'm going to run double them up in the top part of the trunking there. Okay guys, so there we have it. We have all our cables cable managed properly and they're almost basically invisible. There's still a couple of bits I'd like to tidy up, but other than that I think it looks pretty damn good. So was it all worth it? Well, it's a day's project, and a full day's project at that, but I think the results are pretty good. The cables are hidden out the way. There's still a couple of bits I'd like to tidy up that aren't quite right, but I'll get to that another day. But as long as you measure all your cables properly, including how you would like them to run, and make sure that you're able to cut your trunking properly with the correct tools, then it's a pretty simple project, but probably a little bit time consuming. Anyway, if you like this video guys, hit the like button, get subscribed, and until next time, keep playing.